How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zach Hicks, your resident film nerd of HorseshoeHuddle.com, and of course, your favorite co-host over at the Locked On Colts podcast. We're diving into yet another film room of this Indianapolis Colts Miami Dolphins game. Look, the Colts just opened a can of whoop-ass this past weekend, and I can't just settle for 2 videos this week. I'm excited. You're excited. We want to dive into it with 4 videos this week, and I think one player that certainly deserves his own film room is quarterback Daniel Jones. I had a lot of requests for this throughout the week, and while I don't want to focus too much on quarterback play on this channel, I'm just a bigger fan of the unheralded positions like offensive line play, cornerback play, and some other minor details that catch my eye. I do think Daniel Jones certainly earned his film room in this week, so we're going to dive into a couple of his better plays. There's a few negatives in here, but for the most part, it's going to be some of his best plays from this past game. And there are 3 things I want you guys to keep in mind throughout the duration of this video. One is the Colts' use of pre-snap motion to give Daniel Jones the information he needs pre-snap. That was vital for his success in this game. 2 is how confident Jones was getting the ball out to his first read on those plays where he got that pre-snap read he was looking for. And 3, how good Daniel Jones was at getting that ball out hot against the blitz. Miami Dolphins brought the blitz on 51% of their rushes in this game, and Jones was hyper efficient to go along with the offensive line just being dominant in front of him. So keep those things in mind as we dive into this first clip. This first clip is the first play of the season for the Colts. They want to go with this little boot action throw to Tyler Warren in the flat, and this motion here from Michael Pittman Jr. gives Daniel Jones a look he's going for. He sees that corner is playing off the line still. If this corner were playing hard flat, then it would kind of change the look and he'd be looking for something a little bit deeper over the top on this boot action. But when he's getting that corner sitting back, he's anticipating that corner sinking into a window, which is going to open up Tyler Warren in the flat off this boot action. Little delayed block to get them some space there, and we're going to hit Tyler Warren for a nice productive pickup. And again, one thing we really want to highlight here with Daniel Jones is, again, he's getting that pre-snap read. He knows where he wants to go with this ball. He's not holding it, just waiting for something to open up downfield. It's taking the layups where they are, making sure that the offense is moving forward, keeping ahead of the sticks, and keeping the ball moving. That is the biggest aspect of Daniel Jones being a starting quarterback for the Colts. Going over here to clip 2, again, we're going to get some pre-snap motion to get the read we're looking for. No one follows Mo Alley-Cox on this motion, so we are getting zone. We are getting everything that's telling zone. And one thing I really want to highlight about this play with Daniel Jones is how he checks Jonathan Taylor over to the left. So this play is going to be an out and up from Tyler Warren. We're going to have a post with an out and up right next to it. And with that, we are going to want to isolate this defender. This defender is, if you ever watch The Waterboy, when the kicker is looking across the line, he's saying, "Where's my bitch at?" This is your bitch on this play when it comes to attacking one side of the field. The only question mark is this player here, who the Colts are identifying as the flat defender, when this is going to be, again, we know it's going to be zone because of this way they rotate this. So we are looking for what this flat defender is going to do. And Daniel Jones does a great job with his pre-snap checks of moving Jonathan Taylor to that side of the field. And when nobody moves with Jonathan Taylor, again, instead of having a 3/2, we're getting a 3/3, which just makes the odds greater that you're going to hit this out and up. So as the play develops, we're going to go into why this works, where, again, Taylor now on this side of the field is going out into the flat. This flat defender has to account for him now, and he's going to stay shallow on that out route, making sure he's staying close, and that gives Tyler Warren the room he needs to go up the field. And now with that flat defender frozen with eyes on the quarterback and eyes here on Jonathan Taylor, the only player Jones has to worry about is this outside corner, and if he follows the post, Tyler Warren's going to be open up the field. He follows the post. Jones hits him up the field. And I really want to highlight this throw from Daniel Jones as well, where I think, again, it could have been a little bit more on that outside shoulder to protect the receiver. But this was a throw in the preseason that Jones lofted out in front of Warren and kind of left him open for a big hit if it was against a better player. Here, he throws a little bit more back shoulder, lets Tyler Warren be able to protect himself. Again, the throw could have been slightly better, a little bit lower into that back shoulder, but I do think he does a better job protecting Warren here than he did in the preseason. So good all around from Daniel Jones and this Colts offense on that play. We're getting to this next one here, and this is the big touchdown throw to start the second quarter. The Colts are really benefiting here from this late rotation into a cover 2 zone, because once they get into this like cover 2, Tampa 2 zone here with the hard flats, the Colts have the perfect call. We're going to be getting a post up the middle from Tyler Warren, and we're going to get an out and up here on the outside from Michael Pittman Jr. The key on this play is Pittman Jr. crossing the face of that corner, making that corner feel the out route and kind of open to that out route, and then not really anticipating that vertical stem here. So what Daniel Jones needs to do on this play, this is a play without motion, so most of these plays have motion. This is one without it. What Daniel Jones really has to do here is hold this safety to the middle of the field. Use his eyes to hold that safety with this intermediate post here from Tyler Warren. Make sure that safety is not coming over the top. So that way, the second that Michael Pittman Jr. gets behind this corner, we have that window to throw over the top. So Jones does a really great job. If you watch his feet, he's setting to the middle of the field. He's setting to Tyler Warren, breaking inside. And this corner, who has that outside leverage, does break on that inside post. He's expecting his outside corner to sink. Colts do a great job with their homework here, thinking, hey, this is Storm Duck, a pretty young corner who still hasn't been battle-tested in the NFL. Ball is out before Pittman Jr. is out of his break, and leads to a big touchdown up the sideline. Awesome play on 2nd and 20. Great throw from Daniel Jones, and I like his ability to look off that safety and deliver that deep ball with just authority. Get that ball down the field. This is a great throw from Daniel Jones. Getting to another great throw. The Colts had a big turnover right after that touchdown, and Jones takes advantage with this big throw to A.D. Mitchell on the right side. Again, we're going to get that pre-snap motion. That pre-snap motion with that corner following Michael Pittman Jr. tells Daniel Jones, hey, we are going to get man coverage across the board here. So with only 2 receivers, we know we're going to get lock coverage. And where do the Colts want to go when they have man coverage indicator? They want to go to A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell is not going to be on the field for 70 snaps a game, but the couple snaps he's going to be out there, the Colts want him beating man coverage. That is where he shines. That is where he thrives. And Jones knows all the way, like, I don't have to look anyone off. He's not breaking anything inside. This is going to be an out-breaking route against man coverage. I know that I just need to get the ball to A.D. Mitchell no matter what on this play. So Jones fakes the ball, gets that play action going. The second he hits the top of his route, this ball is coming out. So this ball is thrown right here before Mitchell's even out of that break, because we know Mitchell is going to beat a corner in man coverage. Whoever the corner is, this could be Derek Stingley, this could be Storm Duck, whoever it's going to be, he's going to beat that guy in man coverage. Jones throws that ball with anticipation, and A.D. Mitchell is able to make that catch on the sideline. So again, pre-snap indicator of man coverage gives Jones all the information he needs, and he's able to deliver this strike up the right sideline for a big play after the turnover. This is what the Colts were hitting on all game long, and it's why they were able to find some great success. So we've seen some great plays from Daniel Jones. Now let's get into 2 negative ones really quick and talk about where he could have been a little bit better and how I kind of understand the thought process from him, but again, we can just be a little bit crisper with what we're doing here. So again, we're getting that pre-snap look here from the Colts, and what we're noticing is no one's trailing with Tyler Warren. Nobody's running with him. We're getting a little bit of selling action here from this defensive end, but this defensive end is still showing that he's rushing on the play. We're anticipating that blitz, and Daniel Jones is getting, hey, 2 versus 1 on the outside. I like that numbers advantage. I want to pull this RPO and get the ball to Tyler Warren out in space with that 2v1. So I understand where his thought process is here, but you almost never want to do this when the corner is playing this tight. When the corner's playing this tight, he only needs to displace the receiver a half a yard to disrupt everything you're doing. I think that's just too much here for a quarterback. I understand, again, why he's going here, because you get that 2v1 that you're looking for, but I just don't like it with the corner playing this tight. And now it could be a big play. If this receiver can somehow run the guy outside, this could be a big play. But to me, it's too risky with the guy playing this tight, especially because it's Jack Jones, who one of his most famous plays in the NFL is a one-handed interception on a screen pass, running it back. I just don't like this look to pull it. If you're going to do anything with pull it, just sail it over his head and throw it away. But I just don't like this pull look. And honestly, it looks worse in retrospect because it looks like the Colts could have got like a 4 or 5, 6 yard gain here on the run with that split zone action on the RPO. Instead, he pulls it, throws it out there. Again, Jack Jones is playing aggressive. He's anticipating that screen, and he is blowing up the play before it has any chance of success. So, again, could have been better from Jones. I understand why he pulled it here, but I would have liked to give option to Jonathan Taylor. Getting to this next play, I think this is probably the worst play of the game for Daniel Jones, even though, again, I kind of understand where he's coming from. We're getting the quick motion here on the outside from Alec Pierce. What we're going to try to do to attack here is Alec Pierce on an outbreaking route versus, again, Storm Duck on the outside. And I think the Colts get the look they're going for here. Like, the only thing you really have to worry about is this guy drifting out here, but with this being such an outbreaking route, I don't think we really have much of a risk here. And Daniel Jones gets to the top of his break, and again, he's looking more off the safety, make sure that safety's not coming over the top. And then you want to throw this ball with anticipation outside the numbers. And I think Jones just hesitates here because this corner is playing tight on Pierce. For me, the way that I would approach this, though, is unless this corner is playing completely underneath this and like ready to jump anything out, I'm still throwing this ball to the sideline. Worst case scenario, this ball is out of Alec Pierce's reach and we don't have to worry about anything negative. I would rather push that window out there and give Pierce a chance than eat this and try to get down to the check down, especially when your check down is not running like a true drag route. You know, he gets back to Michael Pittman Jr. here, but Michael Pittman Jr. is sitting. And if you're going to throw it to the sitting receiver, the ball has to be out now. If this ball is not out now, you can't throw it to this guy. So you can't come back to this check down late when he's already been sitting for a couple seconds, because then you're giving defenders a chance to see that route, break down on that route, and it almost turns into a costly interception for the Colts early in the second half. Again, for me, I think when you have this play action shot play designed up, you only have 3 pass catchers in the formation. I just say throw it out to this guy who you are intending the play to go to. And even if it's too far out of bounds, like just get it to that hash mark, get it to that sideline, and let the play kind of just be what it's going to be. If worst case, you might draw a pass interference here because there is some contact at the crest of that route. So I would have preferred Jones just ripping this down the field. I think he goes a little too conservative with this one, and it leads to a near interception. Probably his biggest learning moment of the game. Could have been better, but again, in a game where he's nearly flawless, it's hard to really go too much on the negative plays, because we're going to get to this next one, and I think this is one of his best overall plays of the game. This is 3rd and 8. The Miami Dolphins are showing all-out blitz, and again, the Colts are going to this motion to really identify, what is really happening with this Dolphins defense. Are they bringing 6, or are they dropping here? And I think this motion is perfect for what the Colts need. Motion Taylor out. They're seeing that the defensive end is dropping and trailing with him, which is telling Daniel Jones, like, hey, this guy is likely not coming. They could still bring him, but with him moving around like this, I don't think this player is coming, which means he's either going to be in lock coverage on that running back, which is going to be doubtful because that running back's going to stay in and protect, or he's going to just be drifting into a little bit of this curl flat zone. And with that motion, Jones is saying, hey, if they are blitzing, I need to get the ball out hot to my tight end once he clears the window that this guy is dropping into. And I like the just pre-snap notion that these guys understand that together. It's not just Jones knowing that and Warren being lost like a rookie typically is. Both these guys are on the same page knowing, hey, once you clear this window, that ball is coming out hot. And if you see how they operate on this play, again, the blitz is coming. They're bringing this guy late over the top, and Warren is working around that little jam, getting his eyes back to the quarterback, and he is sinking right around that drop-in zone. So once he's sinking right around that, ball is out, tight end is ready for it, get that productive play, get into a 4th and manageable on the positive side of the field. This is great quarterback play. This is great tight end play. This is, great pass pickup across the line as well. Taylor doing a great job giving his quarterback some time so he can drift in the pocket. This is great all around from the Indianapolis Colts to get into this 4th and 2 situation, which is this next play here. And again, this is another great sequence from Daniel Jones. He's commanding things at the line of scrimmage, telling guys where they need to be. And I think the best thing that Jones does here, and this is, again, a complete guess from me, but I think what the Colts typically want on this situation is we're going to have an option route with Josh Downs. If you see everyone else, they're kind of clearing out, they're kind of moving down the field, but they want this isolated option route with Josh Downs on 4th and 2. And one thing that Jones notices pre-snap is this safety over top is aligned over top of the slot receiver. Now, this could mean that they're going to be doing cone coverage on Josh Downs, but likely what that means is this guy's coming. This guy's coming on a blitz, and this guy's going to replace and man up on Downs. And Jones notices that pretty well here pre-snap. So I don't know what this coverage check is here, where I think he called it right before. I don't know exactly what this coverage check is that he calls here, the train motion that he's doing, but in my assumption, he's identifying that this corner is coming, and with that corner coming, it's kind of getting on the same page with Downs that, hey, we are not doing the option route here, break outside, because if he breaks outside, this guy has no chance of covering that ground there. So that's my assumption of what's happening on this play. I think that's just the communication between the two of them to break outside. And Downs does an excellent job of getting to the sticks, getting the depth that he needs. And then that ball is out right when he turns his head back to the quarterback, and they are able to convert for a quick first down. Just great quarterback play. Again, great quarterback play, great use of motion pre-snap, and great recognition from Daniel Jones and this Colts team to make that first down happen. Now, this last play is the big pass to Alec Pierce after the Dolphins' third turnover of the game. And this is probably my favorite all-around play, just from everybody involved with the Colts, from the process to the end result. Again, we're going to get that pre-snap motion. We're going to follow Michael Pittman Jr. on the pre-snap motion. So again, with only 2 receivers being the main targets in the passing game, we're getting man pre-snap. So really the whole goal for Daniel Jones is controlling this safety. Make sure this safety is not going anywhere that we want to target. And the Colts are calling Yankee here. So Yankee typically is inside release from this receiver, and he's going to work up and run the post, so this player has the space underneath to run an over route. So we're going to get over, and we're going to get inside release post. Now, the Dolphins, I think, understand that Yankee is coming here, because that is one of Shane Steichen's favorite plays in history. He loves calling Yankee. That's his shot play. So when you see a 2-receiver look like this, 12 personnel, 2 receivers outside, you're anticipating Yankee. And what the Colts do is they add a variation to Yankee. This variation is Alec Pierce selling the inside release like he's going to work that post, and he's going to sell inside, break outside, and get into that whole shot range for Daniel Jones. And it works to great effectiveness. Look at this release by Alec Pierce at the bottom. He's going to shuffle inside. Corner is completely opening up in there. He's getting ready to turn and run with the speedy receiver. And because Pierce breaks outside, this corner is having to, I can't even call this a speed turn. It's a slow turn on the outside to work back to Pierce. Jones is doing a great job of looking off that safety because he's trusting that Pierce is going to create separation on this side of the field. And he's looking off that safety by staring down Michael Pittman Jr. Then he works back to Pierce. All the way he's going to Pierce, rips this ball into the hole shot, and Pierce just makes an Alec Pierce type of play down the field. So great quarterbacking, great protection across the board. Look at this protection here from the Colts. That's everything you want to see, and just a dime from Danny Dimes down the field there. So overall, Daniel Jones had a couple things that I think he could have been better with, but for the most part, this was a really good showing from him. The Colts made life easy for him with pre-snap motion, but that's not to take away anything from Jones. He was effective when he got that pre-snap read, and also he was able to beat the blitz by finding his hot read on multiple occasions. So Daniel Jones, for his first week with the Colts, I have to give him an A+. I think it was a fantastic game. Now, the biggest test comes this next week against the Denver Broncos. We'll see how he responds, but so far, so good for the Colts' new franchise quarterback, or new quarterback for right now. We'll see if he could be the franchise quarterback, but new quarterback for the 2025 season.